with millions and millions of fans, this is not going to go away. Like, we have seen it across the board in every single sport. And if you're gonna get the same eyeballs as the NBA, it comes with the territory.
Did you hear about the WNBA statement on Caitlin Clark? Fans are losing it. The league tried to address hate, but it's backfired big time. People are saying the WNBA missed the point completely. What's really going on here? Let's talk about Caitlin Clark for a second. This girl was on fire in college. She was breaking records left and right, and everyone was hyped for her WNBA debut. Imagine this: packed arenas, fans going crazy, and all eyes on Clark. The expectations? Through the roof. But here's where it gets wild. Clark's first game, it was a roller coaster.
One of the reactions that you guys wanted to hear from me was about the stuff that Sheryl Swoopes once again said about Caitlin. She was on Gil's podcast, and honestly, you guys, I think I'm done talking about Sheryl Swoopes.
Cannot be a representation of what the WNBA would want in their league. This is our league. This was built, like, I feel like, as a women's basketball historian myself, I've been watching since I was 5. I was here before the league started, as a lot of the fans on social media feel the same. That ain't a representation of us. Y'all not like us. They not like us, okay?
She dropped 20 points, which is pretty sweet for a rookie. But you know what's crazier? She also had 10 turnovers. That's right, 10. It's actually a record for the most turnovers in a player's first WNBA game. Fans were shocked, but still hopeful. I mean, it's Caitlin Clark, right? Now, there's a storm brewing between Clark's fans and the WNBA. Something big is about to go down, and you won't believe what happens next. The league thought they were doing the right thing, but oh boy, were they wrong. Remember how the WNBA thought they were doing the right thing? Well, their statement lit a powder keg. Fans aren't just upset, they're ready to walk away. What could the league have said that's causing such an uproar? The WNBA dropped a statement that was supposed to address hateful behavior, but it's like they threw gasoline on a fire. They said, the WNBA is a competitive league with some of the most elite athletes in the world. While we welcome a growing fan base, the WNBA will not tolerate racist, derogatory, or threatening comments made about players, teams, anyone affiliated with the league. Sounds good, right? Wrong. Caitlin Clark's fans are furious. They think the WNBA completely missed the point. It's like the league is playing checkers, while the fans are playing chess. The real issue? It's not about online hate, it's about what's happening on the court. Here's where things get wild. Fans are watching Clark get roughed up during games, and they're wondering where the protection is. But the WNBA? They're talking about monitoring online threats. It's like they're in a different universe from the fans. One fan hit the nail on the head saying, "Please let this be the last quarter of WNBA basketball for me. Until next season, I can't take anymore." Ouch. That's not just criticism, that's a fan walking away.
So please don't confuse me saying motivated by hate by meaning hating on a team the way a normal die-hard fan would. A die-hard Falcons fan can hate the Saints, but they would be going a little bit too far if they created nude AI pictures of Saints players and then sent them to the Saints players' families. That's what Caitlin stans have done to Angel Reese.
The disconnect is real, and it's causing some serious drama. Fans are watching Clark struggle with physical play, and they're expecting the league to step up. Instead, they get a statement about online behavior. It's like ordering a pizza and getting a salad instead. But here's where it gets even crazier. Renee Montgomery, co-owner of the Atlanta Dream, jumped into the fray. She's saying Clark's fans have gone too far with their support. Can you believe it? It's like pouring more fuel on an already raging fire. The backlash is so intense, some fans are calling the WNBA's statement cringe. They think the league is out of touch with what's really going on in the game. It's like the WNBA is watching a different sport than the fans are. This whole situation is showing just how powerful fan voices can be.
A die-hard Celtics fan could hate the Lakers. And you know what? If we being honest, that Celtics fan base has definitely gone too far with some of their racist remarks and their treatments of players. It's not okay. A diehard Tennessee Vols fan could have hated our UConn Huskies, but they would have been going way too far if they sent death threats to the UConn players. And that's what they've done. That's what Caitlin stans have done.
They're not just sitting back and accepting what the league says. They're pushing back hard. And it's not just a few loud voices, it's a whole chorus of unhappy fans. The WNBA might have thought they were addressing a problem, but they've created a whole new one. Fans are feeling ignored, and that's never good for any sport. It's like the league and the fans are speaking different languages. The WNBA's disconnect with fans is just the tip of the iceberg. Behind the scenes, Caitlin Clark is sparking a revolution. Arenas are selling out, new faces are flooding in, and the energy is electric. But is this surge just a flash in the pan, or the start of a new era for women's basketball? Let's talk about what's really going down off the court. Clark isn't just putting up numbers, she's changing the game in ways you wouldn't believe. Imagine this. Families who've never watched a WNBA game before are suddenly packing arenas. That's right, Clark's bringing in a whole new crowd. One dad spilled the tea saying, "We've been following her for like the last 2 years, and the opportunity came up to see her. So the two of us headed into the city." This isn't just a few diehard fans. We're talking about entire families discovering women's basketball for the first time. You know what's wild? Clark's impact is so massive, the WNBA's had to move games to bigger venues. That's not just hype, that's cold, hard proof that she's changing the game. But here's the kicker, it's not just about Clark. Fans are starting to follow other teams and players too. It's like Clark opened the door, and now everyone's rushing in to see what they've been missing. But what is it about Clark that's got everyone so hyped? One young fan broke it down. Her three-point shots and her really good passes to people. It's simple, but it's true. Clark's style of play is electric, and it's drawing in fans who might never have given women's basketball a second glance before. Now let's talk numbers for a second. In one game, Clark dropped 30 points. That's not just good, that's superstar level. And it's not just about the points. It's about the way she plays, the excitement she brings, and the way she's making people fall in love with the sport. But here's where it gets really interesting. Clark's impact isn't just about filling seats, it's about changing who's in those seats. We're seeing younger fans, families, people who've never watched basketball before. This isn't just growing the WNBA's audience, it's completely reshaping it. And you know what? This could be the start of something huge. If Clark can keep this momentum going, we might be looking at a whole new era for women's basketball. More fans mean more money, more attention, and more opportunities for the league to grow. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Clark's still a rookie, and she's had her struggles. Remember that game with 10 turnovers? But that's what makes this so exciting. If she's having this much impact now, imagine what could happen as she gets better and better. Just as Clark's star is rising, a shocking decision threatens to dim her spotlight. The US Olympic team, undefeated since '92, just made a call that's got fans fuming. Why would they leave the hottest player in women's basketball off the roster? You won't believe what's happening with Caitlin Clark and the Olympics. Remember how everyone's been going crazy for her in the WNBA? Well, guess what? She's not going to Paris. That's right. The US Olympic team decided to leave her off the roster. Can you imagine? Here's the deal. Clark couldn't make it to the Olympic training camp because she was busy crushing it in March Madness. Talk about bad timing. But get this, the team decided to go ahead without her. It's like they're saying thanks, but no thanks, to the biggest name in women's basketball right now. Now some people are saying, hey, no big deal, Team USA is stacked anyway. And they're not wrong. We're talking about players like Aja Wilson, Brianna Stewart, and Brittany Griner. These ladies are no joke. But come on, leaving Clark out? That's like having a party and forgetting to invite the guest of honor. Let's talk about how good this team really is. The US women's basketball team hasn't lost an Olympic game since 1992. That's over 30 years of straight-up domination. So you might be thinking, do they even need Clark? Well, that's where things get interesting. See, it's not just about winning, it's about putting on a show, getting people excited about women's basketball. And who's better at that right now than Caitlin Clark? Fans are going wild for her in the WNBA, and they were ready to see her take on the world. Now they're left wondering what could have been. But here's where it gets really crazy. Some fans think the Olympic team is missing out on more than just Clark's skills. They're saying this was a chance to bring even more eyes to women's basketball. Imagine Clark doing her thing on the world stage. That's the kind of stuff that gets people talking, tweeting, and tuning in. Now, don't get me wrong. The US team is still going to be amazing. They've got more talent than they know what to do with. But it's like they're playing it safe when they could be making history. Clark isn't just a player, she's a phenomenon. And phenomena don't come around every day. So what does this mean for Clark? For the Olympics? For women's basketball as a whole? It's like we're watching a battle between the old guard and the new school. The established stars versus the rising talent. And right now, it looks like tradition is winning out. But here's the thing, sports are always changing. New stars come up, old records get broken, and sometimes the underdogs become the champions. Clark might not be going to Paris, but you better believe she's not done making waves. This is just the beginning of her story. Wow, what a wild ride for Caitlin Clark. From college superstar to WNBA rookie with a bumpy start, she's already become a fan favorite. Can you believe it? Her debut was like a roller coaster. 20 points, but 10 turnovers too. That's insane. But here's the real kicker. Clark's fans are ride or die. They're not just cheering, they're changing the game. They're packing arenas, calling out the league, and making their voices heard. It's like they've got Clark's back no matter what. So here's the million-dollar question. Is Clark's journey going to shake up women's basketball for good? Will all this fan power actually change how the sport works? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. With Clark on the court and her army of fans in the stands, things are about to get real interesting.